Hey out there. Hi. This is Racquel Palmese recording a little segment for Wisdom Wednesday. I'm out here in my element in this beautiful, beautiful place in Orange County, California. And I'm just wondering of all the people that might listen to this at some point, is there anyone out there who's a bit older? I'm going to be 79 in a couple of weeks, and I have to say that I'm experiencing a lot of ageism as I age. It's understandable, but did you notice things like when there's news of some politician who says something, if they're, say, over 60 or 65, their age is always mentioned. If they're under that, unless they're very, very young, it's never mentioned how old a person is. There's an expectation that as we age, that we become a little dotty in the head, that we, or we get full-blown dementia, or that we're weak, incapable of carrying a physical or mental or emotional load. There's a lot out there. It's kind of unspoken. It's kind of accepted by our Western society here in the United States, not so much in other countries, that as we age, we just become kind of used up and not useful. So there's something I'd like to address about that, because that's a bunch of baloney. It does happen a lot. As we age, we can become infirm. We have to put more attention onto our bodies to keep the machine vibrant and going. We have to do more than maybe we have done in the past. That being said, I am far from useless. I have been a spiritual teacher. I do a lot of physical work. I've been doing that kind of somatic spirituality for the last 4 decades of my life. Maybe even more than that in different ways. I have a lot to offer. I have so many souls who I work with regularly. It's a beautiful community we have created here around, the work that we do, which is clearing the channels for spiritual growth. So clearing the emotional damage, the mental blocks, the nervous system irregularities, so to speak, that keep us from expanding in life and in consciousness. This is heavy-duty work. I would say it's beautiful, and I am far from reaching the end of what I feel capable of offering. So that is to say that the subject this all falls under, for those of you who might be somewhere around my age, is called Eldership. And I love that title. I just love it, because eldership, like citizenship, how do you be a good citizen? Eldership is, how do you be a generative, good, sharing, kick-ass elder? How do you keep your life force from dribbling out into other people's low expectations of who we should be or what we should not be able to do? What on earth is happening in our culture to want to just throw us away? Not that it's new, But honestly, at almost 79, I feel as strong as I've ever felt. Well, my knees hurt sometimes, but otherwise, there's nothing wrong. I forget names, but I've always forgotten those, so I don't know. But my eldership is a responsibility that I have taken, and I am accountable to my spirit self and to creation in general, to my Creator. I am accountable for my actions and for how much I put into this life. How much am I leaning into life, and how much am I just letting go of it all? How much am I telling myself I'm tired? How much am I letting the weight of all the life I've lived kind of burden me down? How much am I telling myself, if I see any more cruelty in this world, I'm just gonna want to leave this body? How ready am I to give up the ship? Eldership, if we take it on, really requires us to live every precious moment of life that we have and to share the astonishing amount of experience and stories and wisdom that we carry. Eldership requires us to be good listeners, to drop out of judgment. We just don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to compete. We don't need jealousy. We don't need to try to look 20 or 40 years younger than we actually are. We don't need to play that game. Being accountable as an elder means finding the joy. I don't mean happiness. I mean the joy that is inherent in us. The joy that is blossoming and having lived and having the privilege of living such a long and vibrant life. We got stories and we have things to share and we have things that we know, and we also have channels that can open to spiritual levels, because in this, what I call third trimester of life, we are getting closer and closer to knowing that the veils that separate us from creation itself are getting pretty thin. We have access that was unknowable to us mostly, or could only be imagined by us in our 40s and 50s. So folks, I'm offering myself to you as a guide, as a teacher, as a friend, as a lover of life. Won't you join me? Let's explore it together. Remember the Grey Panthers? What happened to us? Why are we being so quiet? All right. Thank you very, very, very much. Lots of love to you from me and all the trees around me on this kind of rainy, beautiful day in Southern California. Lots of love.